Write the first 6 terms in the sequence. This is where we're getting to 313. And it says a to the n equals n squared plus 1. So then we look at it. We plug in the numbers, whether it says the first 6. So I'm going to plug in a to the 1. And then I get 1 squared plus 1, which is going to be 2. A to the 2 is 2 squared, which is 4, plus 1, which is 5. A to the 3 is 3 squared, which is 9, plus 1, which is 10. A to the 4 is 4 squared, which is 16, plus 1, which is 17. A to the 5 is 25, plus 1, which is 26. And then a to the 6 is 36 plus 1, which is 37. Feel free to write these out. I'm just not writing it out because I don't have quite enough room. The domain in this problem, the domain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the range is going to be all of my answers because that's my output. 2, 5, 10, 17, 26, and 37. And that's how you would do both of those problems. Plug in the numbers 1 through 6. Your domain's what you put in, 1 through 6, and your range is your output. And you can check in 313 for those. That's where we did that. It's very similar to what we did in the beginning of the year. Now 28 is going the other way, choosing the rule. And the way that I like to do these, I haven't done this one yet, so we'll see how many iterations is. I use a lot of guess and check. So the first thing I do is I've got my numbers 2, 6, 12, and 20. And then I know my input automatically is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I look and I say, well, what can multiply by 1 to give me 2? Well, 2 could multiply. But then this one, it's definitely not a 2 because this would be 2 times 3. This looks like it's 3 times 4, and then 4 times 5. So it looks like it's multiplying by a number, but that number goes up 1 each time. So let's think about what that means. It means it's multiplying by a number, so that means my n, which is like 1, is multiplying by a number. In this case, it looks like it's 2. So the first one is n times 2. The second one is n times 3, n times 4. Now this pattern, though, I can't write, the number can't change each time in terms of writing the equation. But what I can do is when I look at it, and this one's multiple choice, so I'm kind of looking at the answers, and I said, well, it goes up 1 each time. So maybe it's n, because that's my first one, times n plus 1. And that would work because that would make this, for the first one, when I plug this in, that would be n times 1 plus 1, which would be 2. And then I would have n times 2 plus 1, which would be 3. And you see how I'm getting the same pattern that I had before. So this would be the answer for that. If you can't do guess and check and just solve it, take each answer and plug it in because it is multiple choice. Plug in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until you get this pattern that's your output. So that's another way to work it if you're not finding the answer just immediately. Some of them are really easy like we did in class where you're just multiplying by a number, and some of them are less obvious. So if you're not finding it, just look at A, B, C, D and see which one will work going the other direction. It'll just be more work. But I always start with writing out the 1, 2, 3, 4 just to see if I can see the pattern, save myself some time. Those are all the problems from 3.1, 3.3, 3.6, 3.12, 3.13 review that you were given in class. I highly encourage you, make sure you've done all of the homework problems. Make sure they are right. You have all of the answers to the odd problems. I will be checking even ones as well, just to make sure that you are doing your homework. Again, homework is very important.